And thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Lisa, for your presentation yesterday. That was very informative and very entertaining, and something that I've never seen before. The idea of fasting and drinking lemon water morning, noon, and night, and a parallel between Maslow's hierarchy and the hierarchy of financial needs. So that was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. Um, so I do have two business lines. We'll talk about voluntary benefits primarily today. What that is, I approach companies with 10 to 100 employees. Larger is okay too, but 10 is kind of the sweet spot for me, 10 or more. And I have a free service, costs nothing to the firms to work with me. And I sell small insurance policies, bottom line, to the workers. In some cases, it's the cheapest way that workers can buy insurance. And in some cases, it's the only way that some workers can buy insurance. So why would a company want to do this if there's no revenue in it for them, no cost, no revenue? Well, you can retain and attract employees. You can tell them that you have voluntary benefits, and even though they have to pay for them, it's still a good deal for them. You can reduce your healthcare costs. We have a product called Medical Bridge, which is first dollar coverage, which enables a company to raise the deductible on their major medical, which they have to do anyway. So together, this works great. And in fact, if anybody knows of a health insurance specifically agent who does not sell voluntary benefits, that would be a great marriage for me, because together we could go into companies and save them money on their healthcare costs. There are sometimes tax savings to the company because some of the products can be paid for with pre-tax dollars, so the company doesn't have to pay its half of the FICA on any premiums that are paid that way. And it costs nothing for the firm to do that. So the firm that I use most often is Colonial Life, which is the second largest. Aflac is the first largest in this industry, and they tend to cost more than the other companies in the industry, and that's, I think, because they advertise so much that everybody's familiar with the Aflac duck, but someone has to pay for that advertising. Colonial really doesn't. So the products that we have typically are disability, accident, life, dental, critical illness, cancer, and the medical bridge product that I talked about before. So why would you want these products? Well, disability is good. The state provides some disability, but as it was mentioned before, Chris, I think, mentioned disability insurance. So that's very important, that you can be disabled during your working life. And it's if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're not getting a paycheck, then what are you going to do? So disability works great, especially for blue collar workers. And it's cheaper if I sell it to you at a time when I'm selling the whole team. So that's what I do. Accident is good, for example, if you have kids who play soccer, teenagers who are involved in athletics, they're going to get injured. Having an accident policy is good. Life insurance, we do sell it, and we do sell term and whole life and universal, but generally smaller policies. Again, this is for blue collar pretty much. Dental is a big seller. Critical illness and cancer, that you want money at first diagnosis. If there's cancer in your family, then if you think it's a possibility that you might get diagnosed with cancer, then this is a great policy to have. Where in all 50 states, this website, coloniallife.webnode.com, has all these brochures if you want, and we have some Spanish language brochures down here too. So a good referral to me would be a company like Steve Samuels, who was on this call last week. For example, he has tele-agents around the country, and it probably never occurred to him that he could provide benefits to those people, and those people would probably be happy to have them even if they had to pay for them. So he's certainly a candidate, and thank you, Desiree, for making that introduction. I'll mention the second business line that I have, that I do sell annuities to teachers for retirement planning and people that they refer, that the teachers in New Jersey particularly are underfunded for retirement. They all are. We also find a lot of the teachers have debt. So if you know people who might have debt, including mortgage debt, and would like to pay it off faster just using the money that they have and preserving their credit rating, that's something that we do. We have a software product that shows people how to pay down their mortgage. I'm not talking about a half-pay program. It's just with the money that they have now. And I have a separate website for that. So that's a little bit what I do. For the purpose of this group, understanding voluntary benefits and where it could play a part for your clients who have 10 or more employees would certainly be useful. All right, thank you, Dennis.
You're welcome, sir. And a quick question for you, Jim. What constitutes a group? Because what if people have contractors or wherever? So does they need to be W-2 employees? Just so I understand the people to send to you, what constitutes a group?
I can work with 1099s, but typically a group would be people who are paid through a payroll system. So if Steve Samuels has a payroll system and pays all those people, whether they're W-2 or 1099, that would be a group for me. The problem with 1099s, I can do real estate agencies, for example. That would be good. But since we don't know when they're going to get paid or how much, then some mechanism has to be put in place to extract premiums every month. So we can do it. We can take the money out of their checking accounts. But
now, because these are group rates, right, as opposed to individual rates. So I was just curious, are they individual rated?
It could be either. It could be either. We do have group products. We have group disability, for example, but most of the products that I sell are individual because your needs are going to be different than Candido's, different from Paul's, different from Lisa's. Everybody's different. They're not all going to buy the same things. So most of what I sell are individual, but they are cheaper because I'm selling to a large number of team members at once.
Right, and that's why I was just thinking, you know, if Relaxed Team starts to really get a lot of different teams and different people, just out of curiosity, is that something that you could create a group around, or does the group have to be around an individual employer? Because there's some nonprofits, some other organizations, industry organizations I'm involved in, some of those things. I just want to know if they would be a referral for you or not.
They could be. If they're paid from a payroll system, they are. I mean, for example, this group this morning, we're not paid out of a payroll system. We're not a
Correct.
group.
Correct.
But I sell to churches certainly and other nonprofits because even nonprofits have employees.
Got it. So you drive out of the payroll system. That makes a clear answer for me. Okay. Comes out of the same payroll system as you. Got
correct.
it.
And Jim, is you know, in terms of a group, do two employees constitute a group?
Well, I look, it's not really worth my time. I mean, I could go down to 3.
Okay.
It's for voluntary benefits as long as somebody buys something. But for me, I look for 10 or more.
Okay. Thank you.
And the best for me would be 10 to 100. It's okay. I'm trying to get a school system. They have 5,000 employees. That's fine. But the selling cycle is going to be 2 years. So for me, I still have to eat in the meantime. So I'm looking for groups 10 to 100 would be the best.